And a touchdown for the Hamilton Tigercats.
Hey all, Rick here from Hamilton Sports Central for another Tigercat preview. We are previewing Sunday's game. I know it's a bit Sunday morning at 1:35 in the morning. I just got home from the Bombers Toronto game since I wanted to go see a football game. So I thought I'd record the preview now for Sunday morning. Just because when I went to go, was waiting for this information to come out before I left for the game. It hadn't come out until I was on the train. So we are going to take a look at Hamilton's depth chart, being away first, and then we will take a look at the BC Lions depth chart as well, and then we'll go over the news and notes and everything. So for Hamilton, on the boundary side of wide receiver, we have Kenny Lawler. Beside him at slot back, we have Tim White and Isaiah Wooden Sr. Left tackle, we have Bordner. Beside him, we have Revenberg, Woodmansey, and Dumoulin Duguay at center. Right guard, we have Dobson and Zott. Right tackle, we have Barrow. Field side wide receiver, we have Shamar Bridges. To the left of him, we have Tyler Tanowski and Brendan O'Leary Orange. To the left of him, we have Keandre Smith and Keaton Bergling. Returning to the lineup, we have Greg Bell and Johnny Augustine. Mitchell and Powell with Jake Dolegala as the starting quarterback. We only have one fullback / tight end, which is Giovanni Robinson. So expect Jake Dolegala to do a lot of the short yardage because Leetree's not playing this week. Kicker, we have Mark Leggio, Gordon White for long snapper, Nick Constantino for punter, and then Isaiah Wooden Sr. for kick return and punt return. For the defense side on boundary, we have Julian Hauser, Miles Fox, and Mario Kendricks. For corner, we have Jamal Peters, and beside him, we have Dustin Talbert. Weak side linebacker, we have Ray Wilburn, Brian Cole, and Kyle Fisher. For middle linebacker, we have Devin Verizek, Ryan Baker, Hoyt, and Kwamu. And on Sam linebacker, we have Uno. That's what Reggie Stubblefield would like to be nicknamed. That's his nickname, is Uno. We have Moose the Goose, Mongoose, and Cachitonis, Deontay Benatti, and Patrick Birch Jr. at free safety. Halfback on the field side, we have Deshaun Amos with Jonathan Moxey. And then we have at defensive tackle Casey Sales with Philip Ozzie and Owen Hubert. So we have Greg Bell's in the lineup. Daniel Kwamu used to be a former Argo, making his Tigercat debut. Ozzie starts with Garbuck. Leetree's out of the lineup. Bordner's in for Murray. Garbutt and Bagna are both sent to the 6th game. On the BC side, we have Barry Hill III on the boundary side for wide receiver. To the right of him is Keon Hatcher Sr. with McGee. At left tackle, we have Broxton. To the right of him, we have Woodruff and Berwick. Harrison at center, Manning and Una at right guard. Schwager at right tackle. Eberhardt at the field side wide receiver. To the left of him is Justin McInnes. To the left of that is Cotoy and Passant. Running back is James Butler. Quarterback, you have Nathan Rourke, Chase Bryce, and Jeremiah Mazzoli. Fullback, you have Pickett and Bond. Punter is Mayer with Sean White as the kicker and Nelson as the long snapper. On the defense side, on the defensive line, we have Churay and DeHumia. Defensive tackle, we have Covington and Hendricks. The other defensive tackle spot, we have Bari. And then the defensive end spot, we have Matthew Betts and Cherry. Will linebacker, we have Heletic, Woods, and Messam. Middle linebacker, we have Micah Awe, Kinar, Ganyani, and Royer. And then same linebacker, or the nickel linebacker as you would call it, we have Williams. Boundary corner, we have Peters with Blaylock. Boyu with Renee and Finley as safety. Kent Jr. at halfback on the field side with Carter Jr. So that is the lineups. Hendricks and Blaylock are in. Edwards, Cooper, and Laluli are out for BC. Now let's take a look at news and notes. For Nathan Rourke's career, he's 15-10-0. He's 1-1 against Hamilton. He's 3-2 this year. Well, Levi Mitchell's 103-41-2, 12-7 against BC, 4-2 so far this year. BC points 4 is 23.3. They're only 8th. They're second last. Points 4 for Hamilton is 31.3. They're in first place. Points allowed, BC is 25.6, which gives them fourth place. Hamilton is 26.0, which is fifth place. Net offense, BC's 405, which is third. And then Hamilton's net offense is 368, which is fifth. BC's net opponent net is 234. Hamilton's opponent net is 346 for third. So BC's turnover ratio is -10 for ninth, and Hamilton's turnover ratio is +8 for first. So we're gonna go with the CFL wide trends first. Week 7 field goal perfection. In 4 games last week, CFL kickers went perfect 20 for 20 on field goal attempts, raised the league mark to 86% in 2025. CFL kickers now have the combined consecutive field goal mark set at 27 in a row. That goes back to a miss by Lewis Ward on July 12th of 2025 from 49 out at Hamilton. CFL clubs use the big play, in quotes, long gainer to advantage thus far in 2025. On 2,945 offensive plays, the average gain that sits at 6.7 yards, the highest in CFL history. Touchdown per game. Hamilton's Kenny Lawler is off to a great start with 8 touchdowns in his first 6 games, on pace for 24. That is 1 ahead of the CFL record set by Milt Stegall at 23 in 2002. There are many all-time leaders in touchdowns and totals and per game since 1958. So this is touchdowns per game. So George Dixon, Montreal 1960, had an average of 1.5 touchdowns per game. Kenny Lawler's at 1.33 touchdowns per game. I don't know how they determine if it's more than one, if it's well, the Phil Pallett brothers' dad had 11 in 6 games back in 95. That's crazy. 2 longest field goal streaks. Mark Legio has now made 30 consecutive field goal attempts, while Sean White is at 26 in a row. Breaking down Legio's 30 straight, which stands as a Hamilton club record. It now tied for the fifth longest in CFL history. Mind you, if he makes one more, then it will be 4th or 5th. He won't be tied with the other ones. Big play effect in 27 CFL explosive plays. Long gainers are up 9% over 2024. They average about 5.4 per game. 20 plus rush, 30 plus pass, 30 plus punt / field goal made returns, and 20 plus KO return compared to the 4.9 last year. Their impact in 2025 is astonishing when looking at touchdown drive percentage, 61 versus 10%. Just 11.0 penalties in week 7. In 4 games in week 7, only 44 penalties were called, including the 10 on kick return plays. Non-offensive return touchdowns in 27 games. There's been 19 return touchdowns that compared to just 10 at this point in 2024. That's contributing to more than 9% of total scoring touchdowns. Is the main reason the league wide we are up to 53 games per play points per game in 2025. Completion percentage. CFL passers continue to complete passes at a record rate through week 6 of 2025, 68.6%. The 2024 season set the record at 68.4, thus 2025 has pushed that up even further. 5 CFL quarterbacks have a completion percentage of 70% or higher than 70%. That's heading into week 8. Reception streaks. Okay, team notes. BC versus Hamilton, game 40. BC Lions are set to play franchise number 1200. This week marks a milestone for the BC Lions as they take the field for the 1200th game in franchise history. Their all-time record is 585, 590, and 24.498 heading into this game. Since 2023, when Wally Brano became head coach, the Lions were 215, 165, and 1.566, good for 50 games above 500. Recent meeting. Over their last 6 games, they've had split at 3 wins apiece dating back to 2022. The Tigercats have won 3 of the last 4 to BC Place Stadium. Overall, the Lions hold the record of 58, 42, and 3, edge since 1961. Nathan Rourke enters this game with a 3-2 record in 2025 and 15-10 for his overall career. He has thrown for 300 plus yards 4 times this season and 13 times in his 25 career starts. That rate is 52 times percent, ranks number 3 behind Doug Flutie at 58.3%, 74 times in 127 starts, and Jeremiah Mazzoli at 32 times in 61 starts. The idea for this one, thanks to Dave Moyer at TSN. Nathan Rourke is currently a streak of 3 games to throw 300 plus yards. His longest is for July 29th of 2022 to August 19th of 2022. Justin McInnes has closely guarded of late in each of the last 2 games, has just made 1 catch. His current reception streak stands at 17 in a row. Stanley Berryhill has a current streak of a touchdown catch in his last 3 games, and at least 1 in 4 of his last 5 games played in 2025. Tigercats 4-game win streak. Hamilton started started 2025 at 0-2 and have won 4 straight. They've won 4 games in a row last season, but have not won 5 in a row since the final 6 in 2019. Mitchell is consistent starter for Hamilton. Bo Levi Mitchell is 103, 41, and 2 in his career as a starter, and 13 and 16 in 29 games for Hamilton. Against BC is 12 and 7. All time, here is his win percentage, stands all time. So it's 7-1-2, so he's third, which isn't too bad. Michael Awe leads the league with 51 defensive tackles and is on pace for 131 for an 18-game season. That would put him 4th all-time, trailing only Solomon Eliminin seasons of 114 or 144 and 143. Oz very own 134 total in 2023 for Calgary. Touchdown leaders collide. The CFL top 2 touchdown scorers are set to go head-to-head as Kenny Lawler's 8 touchdowns and BC's Stanley Berryhill III 5 touchdowns enter this week clash, leading the league in majors. BC's imbalanced schedule. This game for the BC Lions will be their second in 2025 against an East Division club. BC is 2-4 versus their West rivals, but 1-0 versus East teams. Montreal 1-0. Tim White has extended his active reception streak to 21 games, now with a catch in all 6 Tigercat games of 2025. He's up to 482 or 4,800 for his career. He's just 180 short of the 5,000 mark. James Butler, running back, faces his old club for the first time since leaving Hamilton. Butler leads the CFL with 504 rushing yards and has posted 2 100-yard rushing receptions so far this season. His career total is now up to 3,699 yards rushing. Johnny Augustine had his second highest ever career carries last week with 18 for 83 yards. In the win over Ottawa, career high 1 game of 23 in 2021 for Winnipeg. Aerial battle. Hamilton, BC stand alone as the 2 teams in the CFL averaging over 300 yards passing per game. Both clubs also lead the league in ball passing touchdowns. Turnover tale. No 2 team in the league has a wider gapper in the turnover ratio than Hamilton, Tigercats, and the BC Lions through week 7. Hamilton enters the matchup ranked first in turnover margin at +8, while BC sits at the bottom of the barrel with a -10. Hamilton's pass defense has been so dominant through week 7, allowing a league low 5 passing touchdowns all season. The Tigercats lead the CFL in interceptions with 11, with 10 of those coming from their secondary, and they have 4 different DBs that have tallied 2 or more interceptions. Sack avoidance. Hamilton and BC have done the best Hamilton BC have done the best job protecting their quarterback this year, conceding the fewest sacks in the CFL through week 7. The Hamilton has just allowed 7 sacks, while BC leads the league with 6 sacks against. So that is that. So we are up to 12 games since 2017. We have 67%, that's 8 of those 12 being decided in the last 3 minutes. And then also we have decided by 0 to 4 points. We've had 6 of those games decided within 0 to 4 points. This is just pretty much straightforward. But don't forget to come check out later on this week, or later on today, as this is going out Sunday morning. I will be doing a live stream watch along over on X, as well as you'll be able to, as you can see, if you go over to the lives, or go over on YouTube to my YouTube channel, Hamilton Sports Central. I will be doing a live watch along on there as well. So if you want to come say hi later on, you can. I have some neat graphics and whatnot that I'm going to show during the game for touchdowns and interception, or touchdowns and field goals. So we're going to worry about that. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by and checking out today's preview of the BC Lions versus the Hamilton Tigercats at BC Place Stadium in BC. This is Rick from Hamilton Sports Central, and have yourself a great rest of your day.